man? What's packing, party people? And welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Guy Chow, first of his name, and this is the What's Packing Sports Show. And today, we're going to be breaking down the 5 W's to the Green Bay Packers win over Pittsburgh. Now, before we get to the show, a little bit of housekeeping. If you would, for me, please hit that subscription button if you are already not subscribed, and notification bell. I always say notification bell when I do thumbs up. I feel like Brother Man from the Fifth Flow. But hit that notification bell, ding ding, and thumbs up this video if you like the content. If not, man, you can even hit the thumbs down. It's all useful, valuable information for the algorithm to determine whether I deserve to keep doing this shit, and they can keep pushing it out to y'all. All right, look, now let's get on to the program. Okay, week 4 is in the books, I should say. It's wrapped up. It's under the tree. No, it was under the tree. We took it out. We unwrapped it. Now we about to unpack it, and here we have it. Okay, the Packers win 27-17. If I'm correct, Mundo. Yes, the Packers win 27-17, and you know the deal. Every week, we break down the 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, and why the Green Bay Packers won or lost the previous week. All right, so the first W, as always, is who stood out. And this is becoming a common theme for me. And if it continues this way, I feel like this is going to be a good sign for the Packers defense. And that is none other than Devondre Campbell, the newly inked, signed, tender, whatever you want to call it, linebacker, middle linebacker for the Green Bay Packers, brought in over the offseason to sort of jumpstart, restart, kickstart his career. Again, he's a veteran, been in the league like 4 or 5 years, I want to say, maybe going on 6. And look, this dude has been a presence on the field. He's making plays in the backfield, tackles for a loss. He's getting pressures. He's getting what's it called? Recovering forced fumbles, man. He's in pass protection, getting those PBUs. I mean, he's been going sideline to sideline. I mean, the guy has just literally been flashing on the screen. I'm sorry, man. I'm spitting all over the place. My mouth is salivating because this content is so goddamn delicious, okay? I just can't help myself. But look, I'm going to just try to keep going, okay? Devondre Campbell, I think, man, it's been like night and day with this defense, especially in the running game. You can really see how he has affected this team in the trenches, and they haven't given up a 100-yard rusher, I don't think, at all this year. So that's a great start to the season. And my other standout player on defense, I'm going to go with the rookie Eric Stokes. Finally got his first interception of his career, and we hope it's the first of many. He looked good in coverage. He had some big plays on 4th down. He's been a critical player to me, and with 6 PBUs. PBU stands for pass breakups. He is actually tied for the league with like 4 other people. So, I mean, that's great. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, I'm going to go with Billy Turner, who had a tall task this week, taking on one of the better pass rushers in the NFL in TJ Watt, some who believe is the one of the top candidates to win Defensive Player of the Year. Billy Turner did a great job. After like the first quarter, I would say TJ Watt really didn't have much. The first half, TJ Watt didn't really have much of an impact on this game. So it was a great thing to see. And my second offensive standout has to be Randall Cobb. How can I forget? Yes, Randall Cobb. Let's back it up real quick like a U-Haul truck. Who stood out to me on offense outside of Billy Turner? It had to be Randall Cobb. And look, the dude had 2 touchdowns. Like, he had 4 of his 5 receptions. 4 of them went for first downs and came on 3rd down, which is the money down. And he just looked like his old self, man. I was a little skeptical when they brought Cobb back in because, he had been kind of injury prone down the stretch, and he just seemed like maybe he lost a step. And the fact that they drafted him, developed him, and then let him go, it made me feel like they had evaluated that he just really wasn't the same guy anymore. But after 2 years away and not getting as much playtime, he looks like he's been rejuvenated, and he's got the same wiggle he had in the slot back in 2016, I think it was. So look, man, or maybe 2014. Well, he's been in the league like 6-7 years. Maybe it's 2014. But I'm just really happy that, you know, Randall Cobb is back and playing well. Okay. Now, what was one of my biggest takeaways? I want to say the running game has been on display. And I'm talking both sides of the ball. Like, the trenches have been where the battle is won, and that helps you in the running game on offense, and it helps you stop the run on defense. And that's something that really has stood out to me over the first couple of weeks. Just how tough Green Bay has been up front, man. How they've been able to push the pocket on defense, get pressure, stop the run, contain those big runs, and then on offense, they've been really physical and they've been setting the tone, and I love to see it. All right, one of my other takeaways, the NFL has a real officiating problem, I should say, because there were several calls in this game that I feel like they missed or blew that had a pretty decent, like, kind of effect on the outcome of this game. And I mean, I think it's like something that the NFL really needs to get their hands on and kind of try to figure out and really take it seriously, because we've seen in like just recent years, man, going all the way back to like the Tuck rule, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, in my memory, I feel like that's like probably one of the biggest, most iconic blown calls that we have. And ever since then, it's like the referees have kind of just been fucking up. And I feel like the NFL have such a good product, and they pride themselves on being the premier product in America when it comes to the sports entertainment. It's like you have this shining jewel, and then you set it, like, I'm not going to say you set it on a pile of trash, but it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, the display case is dirty as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got this beautiful jewel that's shining and brilliant, and everyone's coming to see it. And then when you look at the display glass, it's like, ugh, it's all dirty and smudged up and got, you know, people's like boogers on there and like snot and shit. Like, it's like, clean that shit up, man. If you cleaned it up, the whole thing will look a lot better. It's already great. But if you just clean it up, the presentation would be so much better. And that's what I need the NFL to do. Clean their motherfucking display glass up, which I'm using that as an analogy for the referees, okay? And the last takeaway was Aaron Rodgers using his legs in the red zone, okay? Last year in the NFC Championship game, from about 10 yards out on 3rd and goal, Aaron Rodgers didn't use his legs like we all wanted him to use his legs. This year, in a game that, for lack of, you know, like, objectively speaking, didn't really fucking matter, you know what I'm saying? A week 4 game, it would have been a little more, had a little bit more, what's it say? Like, a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Gravity, I guess? I don't know. Something kind of in that area. The game would have had a little bit, it would have been, the shit would have counted, okay? It would have counted a little bit more if it was like an NFC Championship game, an NFC game, because it could have played out in the standings, but because it was just like, the Steelers, like, the shit really didn't mean anything. But Rodgers said he had heard that Pete Dowdery was talking a little bit of shit about his mobility, and I kind of agree. Rodgers is nothing like the player he used to be when it comes to his mobility. He doesn't really manipulate and move in the pocket to me as much as he used to, and he doesn't run for first downs and get those chunk plays as much as he used to. But he did use his legs in the red zone, and I was happy to see it. And hopefully, if it comes down to it again, he'll do it in the playoffs. All right, moving on to the next W. Who, what, when was the turning point in this game? And I'll give you 2, okay? I'm going to give you 2 turning points. The first one was in the second quarter when they got that forced fumble, which was created by... Fuck, who was the forced fumble created by? Man, this is the Niners game. I'm tripping. This the Niners game, okay, by Kingsley Keke, and I believe it was picked up by Devondre Campbell, or maybe it was picked up by somebody else, but that doesn't matter. But the forced fumble in the second quarter on 3rd and 6, at which the point it was a tie game, led to the Packers being able to take the lead on Randall Cobb's first touchdown of the game. So I think that's a really big kind of, you know, momentum swinging turning point when you can take the lead and you get a turnover and the turnovers turn into points, because I feel like oftentimes for the Packers, they don't always turn their turnovers into points. And I feel like that's like the full equation is you got to get something out of it, not just take it away from the other team. So that was nice to see. And the second turning point that the second turning point I'm going to say, and my notes is all fucked up right now, or I got my notes all over the place, but I want to say the second turning point for me was the blown blocked field goal call at the end of the second quarter. So the Packers' turning point moment came sort of middle of the second quarter, but at the very end of the second quarter, going into the halftime, the Packers tried to kick a field goal, and it was blocked, but then the referee said, and they returned it, and I think it would have been returned for 2 points or maybe 3 points, I don't know. But then, not only that, but that happened, and then the referees blew it dead, said that the Steelers jumped off sides, and when you look at it, it seemed like it was just a really blown call, and it's like, I know this is a Packers show, so we're talking about the Packers, but it's like, I like to see a fair game. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to win on some cheap shit or like a blown call or something controversial that people can bitch and moan about. I just want the Packers to win fair and square. So it kind of dampens the victory for me a little bit. And it, like I said, it speaks to a really big problem that I feel like that the NFL has, and the way that this game is presented on Sundays and Mondays and Thursdays is like, the referee officiating is terrible, people. All right, look. The next thing is where. As in, where would I place this victory on a scale of 1 to 10? And I'm going to get down to an exact science at some point in time. But for right now, it's kind of like a feel. I just feel how I feel and when I watch it. And after I think about it for a couple of days, and I'm going to say that this Packers win was like a 6.9. All right, they had some things they need to clean up on offense. Rodgers is taking too many sacks, and honestly, outside from like that Detroit game, he hasn't really been that sharp, to be real with you. Like in this game against the Steelers, Rodgers was not sharp at all. I mean, he was 55% completion percentage, which is like dog shit. I mean, he only passed for 248 yards, and most of that was like after the catch type shit. And then he took a sack when he didn't have to take a sack. And you know, I just think, you know, he just missed some throws that I feel like he shouldn't miss, man. And you know, the defense, they got to clean some things up. Ja got hurt, which sucks, and we still don't really know what's the extent of that. But the longer the diagnosis continues to be pushed off, it's making me not feel good about it. But you know, there's some things that need to clean up, but overall, you know, I feel good about the defense. But if this is a championship caliber team, and when you really look at this game, if you don't just look at the box score and say, oh, a 10-point victory, that's a decisive victory. Nah, but if you look at this game and you look at some of those missed calls, and when Ben Roethlisberger had Juju Smith-Schuster open twice on passes that could have gone for touchdowns, this was a game that was a lot closer than it looked on the box score, but it still a win, and it still was a 10-point victory, and the defense made plays when it counted most. So I'm going to give him a 6.9. Give him a 6.9. All right. The last W is why, as in why I feel like the Packers ultimately won this game, and I'm going to give you a couple. Like I said, the Steelers missed some plays, all right? They had a couple plays that could have been made that would have made this a lot tighter, and maybe, who knows, the Packers would have lost. And the defense, like I said, they messed up, but when it counted, they stepped up. They got the interception at the end of the game to seal the deal. They had some sacks and pressures on third down plays, and they got some punts. They were able to force them to punt. And like I said, they didn't give up more than 100 yards rushing, which to me is always a good day at the offense. And the last thing I'm going to say is that the offense, while it was up and down, they stayed pretty even keel with the pass-run ratio, 36 passes to 30 runs, even though I would like to see that flipped, 36 runs to 30 passes. But to me, it's the balance that ended up saving them in the end. And it's the thing that's going to save them throughout the year and keep this offense humming. All right, so those are my 5 things: who, what, when, where, and why the Packers won 27-17. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Who's your standout? Where do you think your turning point was? Why do you think the Packers ultimately won? Let me know down below, man. Comment that shit up, all right? Until next show, you know what it is. Go Pack, go. And remember, even though the Bears are now starting their new quarterback, they're going to continue to suck. And I fucked that all up, but it doesn't matter because it's not about perfection. It's about process. I'm just going to keep it going. I got a lot more videos to make, so I'm going to keep going. All right, till the next time. Peace.